as you can see that this particular picture itself is showing that the picture, there is an island. Now we are in this situation, we are all just like this island, and we are surrounded by water which is supposed to be weak flow, but somehow the situations are such that we are not able to get that. Let us just go to the next slide. So what are the Ebbs? What are the disruptions, stagnations, boredom, or restrictions we are facing? So this is a picture from very much our IIT Kharagpur. So in your IIT KGP lingo, it is called illu. So that illu feel, probably it was not there for last 2 years. And then this is the graduating pics without mask. That is also probably not happening even in this convocation. Probably when people have taken their pictures, they probably have removed their mask, or probably it was already in their face. So we are not able to think about a mask-free graduation pic now. So these are the things we are restricted, and we are really facing boredom for all of these things. Along with this, all the societies are the lifeline for IIT KGP campus. So you can see all these pictures, other than the middle one, these are actually representing those societies only. So we are missing those group plays and different societies face-to-face gatherings in our IIT KGP. But then you may be thinking that why ma'am is talking about these things, because this is why we are creating this program SAMYOG, and we are trying to connect with each other. Because in today's context, there is a relation to these particular pictures. These are group pictures, as you can see. And technically, this particular thing, this particular field, this particular group play, and these societies, and whatever we create together, and whatever time we spend together, that is actually known as group flow. So flow is a technical term. Again, I'm saying, so group flow is one of the category of that technical things. So definitely we are bored because we are not able to face this group flow. Now, what is not there, that we have understood. But then this illusion of control, what is not there, is actually taking away that illusion of control. Why I'm saying illusion of control? Because ultimately we are very little human beings, very tiny human beings in comparison to the universe. So whatever control we assume that we have in our environment around us, that is actually a kind of illusion. But maybe that illusion is actually, to some extent, that illusion is required to maintain our sanity. So how, what is there in our hand when this illusion of control is very much challenged with the present scenario, or for last 1.5 year, 2 years? So what is there in this situation in our hand? Still, how you will think, how we will think, what perspective we will take, so that you maintain your inner peace, are still in our hand. We will be continuously will be influenced by the outside scenario, but still we ourselves are within our hand. So there are 3 pictures. You have to tell me the commonality between these 3 pictures. Whoever, please volunteer, somebody, please tell me what is the one commonality in these 3 pictures. I'm waiting for your answer. Anyone, just switch on your
River,
mic
madam.
and hello.
River, madam.
Other than that, another feature from photography point of view, all of them are not river. One is ocean. Any other thing? You people are very good in photography.
Top view.
Yes. So that is the thing. So a conscious change is there at hand. Okay. So this is called aerial view, or nowadays you can say that drone view or the helicopter view. So if we can try to take a helicopter view, whatever is happening around us, whatever is happening around the globe, if we, for everything, if we just try to see the bigger picture, if we try to take a helicopter view, maybe life will be a little bit easy. Now, how to do that? That we are going to explore. So, what is the commonality between all these three pictures? Can anyone tell me? Is there any common human emotion which is related to these three pictures?
Joyful environment, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. See, all of them are actually striving for one goal. But while striving for one goal, there are other two things very common in these three pictures. That is, all these three pictures representing immense concentration, and that concentration is concentrated for the goal. All of them are trying to reach only one goal, which is a common goal. And while doing all those hard work, actually they are not feeling they are doing any work, and they are just enjoying the process. So this flow, what is technically called flow, is actually universal. You may be knowing this flow not as flow. We always tell that be in the flow, okay, but what we mean by that is very different than what I am going to tell you today. So when we say in our colloquial term that be in the flow, जाने दो ना, लोड नहीं लेना है, वो छोड़ दो, be in the flow. So that means you become very passive. जो हो रहा है वो होने दो. Okay, so today we are going to say that no, flow is absolutely, technically, absolutely opposite to that. So you maybe have already listened to these terms like runner's high, in the groove, being in the zone. Okay, so being in the zone is very much there for the musicians, there for the athletes. And this runner's high is also very much attached to the runners, those who runs. For them, they are all very much aware of this term. Being in the pocket for the jazz musicians, and forever walks for the stand-up comedians. Okay, so these are the terms they use to represent this state of flow. So these are all specific way of specific discipline or specific art forms to actually represent that specific state of being. So flow, as I said, that is a technical term, and it is first, though flow was part of human existence maybe from the beginning, but first time this term technically is coined by the person whose name is Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. This is the phenomenal and iconic book of flow, which is written him for the first time. So what is flow as per him is the state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost for the sheer sake of doing it. So, why we are talking about flow state today in this context, where we all are bored and we all are feeling very uncontrollable situation is outside, and we do not have any control. Anytime anything can happen. So in that particular scenario, why we are talking about flow? Is there any contextual relevance? Yes, there is contextual relevance. Why? Because we are talking about a state which is flow. In that particular state, our body and brain is capable of producing some of the most addictive neurotransmitters. Okay, this addictive term is not very liked by academicians, but as for the student community, we know that how much this synthetic chemicals or the drugs are there to reach the high, to reach that ecstatic state. So in this population, probably we should talk about more and more about this flow state, because this is only one state which is possible by our brain and our body, in which our body can secrete this particular neurotransmitters, which is norepinephrine, dopamine, endorphins, anandamide, oxytocin, and serotonin. Now, what they do, maybe you, some of them, at least among you, know that at least 4 to 5 neurotransmitters here are known as happy hormones. They are responsible for our happy mood. They make us much more contained. So if we can reach that flow state, then what will happen? Flow state is the maximum performance state. Okay, in that maximum performance state, a person can reach some level of performance which even he himself or herself have not thought that can be reached in his or her lifetime. So in flow state, our productivity increases a lot, our focus becomes razor sharp, and overall performance becomes very, very high. We become very, very creative. Very specific areas of our brain becomes activated during this particular state. And please do not think that during this particular state, our brain becomes highly activated. It is not that. Rather, it is about pausing. Okay, we have actually now, when we are bored, that time we feel that as because our life is paused, that is why we are feeling this much boredom. But if you really understand flow, then you will see that it is something called hyperfrontality. That means the frontal lobe of our brain is very much activated, but other parts of the brain, which are actually responsible for making you much more brood about what will happen. I am there in the triple sharing room, and other two roommates are actually coughing, and I am very, very worried that this Omicron variant is so much so much infectious that I might get COVID, and then I have to remain in the quarantine for another 14 days. So this is actually, you are thinking about again and again, and you are worried, and you are thinking about negative thoughts. Oh my God, this will happen to me, that will happen to me, and one after another, one negative thought is welcoming another negative thought, and that trails goes on. So that particular automatic neural network, that particular network is known as automatic neural network. That particular network is switched off when you are in the flow state, because in that flow state, your another network, which is mutually exclusive with this automatic neural network, is getting activated. So you can actually cannot think, it is impossible to be in the flow state and actually thinking about other worries. Okay, because that time, wherever you are in the process and completely immersed in the process. So what lifestyle can do to make you happy and achieve productivity, and how you can infuse flow in your current IIT KGP campus life. That is the main focus of this session, and I would like to answer all your worries. If I do not know something, then I will come back to you again. But please come up with your questions, because flow state and talking about it is not a very common thing, but it is something which if we learn, if we can understand, if we can implement in our life, then we ourselves will feel that we have become Superman. So this picture, as it shows, tell me, what is it? What this picture is showing? By this picture only, what you can think about? Any one of you?
Enjoying what you do.
What picture? Tell me the literal thing, what you are seeing.
Bathing.
Yes. What you do here? What you are seeing here?
Exercise.
What of exercise? Is it running outside?
No.
Then what kind of exercise we will name it?
Indoor.
Yes. And what is used as a floor covering?
Very soft mat.
Yeah, a
Carpet.
mat, right? Yeah. Is it possible to get these things in your room, in your hostel dorm room?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. What is this?
A window with a great view.
Yes. So all of your windows, I agree, that may not be with great views, but then you people have small rooms. And most of the time, I remember when I joined this institute in 2011, in 2012, we have to visit halls. Okay. And a very common feature in the halls which we found is the hall rooms, windows are actually either painted with white or black paints so that the transparency goes away, or the newspapers are pasted in the window glasses. So now I am coming to the special thing which you can actually do within your KGP campus lifestyle. And here are some requests from my side. So dopamine, okay, we said that flow state is something in which our body and brain is capable of producing some chemicals which we just love. Okay, when you actually scroll your Facebook at the beginning, or when you just after waking up in the morning, when you first check your email, which we all are not supposed to do, but we do, and it is impossible to keep ourselves away from that. So that gives us a dopamine boost, a kick. Okay. So that dopamine kick we can actually get from something else also, which can actually make us very happy afterwards and very rejuvenated afterwards. So that is actually cold shower. Okay, so cold shower, please, I will request you all, go and find out some information about cold shower and hot shower as well. But as a whole shower, if you are just imagine you are taking in a winter morning, you are taking a cold shower. I think by just thinking about it, you people are either some people are just hating me, even saying about that, and for saying about that, and some people are thinking that oh my god, what a cruel imagination, and some people are already feeling freezing. Okay, but remember one thing, with that freeze you actually giving self that dopamine boost and dopamine kick. So it is actually equal to what you are actually getting from checking your email or WhatsApp or any other messenger you can name. Okay, so we can give ourselves that. Is it possible to give that to ourselves, either hot or cold? But is it possible to give ourselves that in the morning, or at least in a day sometime, no matter in what time? Is it possible? Is it a doable thing?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Cold shower.
Okay, yeah, cold shower. Normally in this winter, it is cold, right? There are myths.
Ma'am, but I am afraid that I will get cough and cold after that. So how to take it?
That's a myth. That's a myth. We will
I
talk about what will keep you away from actually what keeps you away from cough and cold. Okay, it is your immunity power,
I'm
and that immunity is compromised by so many other things. Okay, and when that is compromised, no matter whether you take bath with very hot water or very cold water, or if you do not do all those things also, then also you can get cold. Okay, so this exercise, this indoor exercise, I would request you to please go through the indoor exercise regime, where very small space is required, and which can we can do it. we can mix some. We all have now, thanks to this COVID-19 situation, that we all have very good headphones or earphones with us. We can put those things in our ear. We can uh, play some jolly music, which is goes with the exercise pace we are following, and we can do some indoor exercises, right? So why exercise? Because exercise, optimum exercise, not whole lot of exercise, but optimum exercise is actually able to give you endorphin, again another happy hormone, okay, by which your mood is elevated. So that is also created by your body. You are not taking from outside, okay. It is also that kind of high you can get if it is optimum exercise. Then coming to serotonin, why I'm talking about window today, and why this is a earnest request from my side, that no matter how tiny the window is, and no matter how little bit of time actually the sunlight comes from the window, you please open your window and try to stare in the morning when the sun is not up in the middle of the sky. At that time, try to stare at the sunlight, because it has so many benefits. Actually, your brain wakes up. We are wired in that way that our system actually gets activated. We are actually awake by that exposure of sunlight through daylight, through sunlight to our some retinal specific cells, okay. So your brain requires that, maybe not your coffee, but that sunlight, to really make your brain awake, for making you ready for your 8 a.m. class. And if you are giving yourself sunlight, whole lot of sunlight, then serotonin is, again, you know that it's another happy hormone. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So what I was saying, that it has whole lot of benefit if you are actually exposing yourself to sunlight, especially during this winter time. And I'm afraid maybe if we have some doctor in our session, they will be the better person to talk about it, whether our vitamin D deficiency has become another pandemic kind of a situation, or whether that's a public health crisis now because of this pandemic. Because we are really deprived, though we are from the country where we have plenty of sunlight, but then also we are not now stuck so much, and we have forgotten to go outside, that we may be that synthesis of vitamin D is not happening in our body. Okay, so that is, and if the vitamin D is not okay, in the level of vitamin D is not okay in your body, then you may get you may feel lethargic, you may physical symptoms of depression, okay. So if you ask me whether there is a causal relationship, I will say that we have only seen, or research studies have seen, that the people, those who have depression, okay, they also has comorbid vitamin D deficiency. This is not a causal relationship, but coexistence of these two conditions has been found by the studies. So that is another thing for your mood and for your body. Please do this favor. Please make yourself exposed to sunlight. Us, and they say that, ma'am, I was actually doing very well 1 week ago, and I was working even without sleep. I was feeling very, very productive. But suddenly, I don't know what happened. Just after this 1 week, my project is submitted, and I actually scored very nice, and everybody praised me for my work. But somehow I'm feeling very, very low. Okay, so sometimes it is very common to actually confuse that state with depression. Okay, But it is not that. It is actually that peak performance phase that person was actually working in. But as you know, that there is a build up phase, there is a peak phase of flow. That 7 days when that person is working, that was the peak phase, maybe 2-3 days. And then there is a transitioning phase. The moment that particular submission has happened, that transitioning phase is there. Okay. So the first stage is known as struggle, when your brain is just trying to read a whole lot of things and trying to just incorporate informations. Then there is release. There are times when we try to solve some problem and suddenly we feel that our brain is just jammed. It is not working anymore. So that time what we do, let's go to take a coffee. Let's go somewhere else. Let's have a bike ride. Okay, so something like that. So that phase is known as release. The third phase or the peak phase is known as flow. And the fourth phase is recovery. So if you are not giving yourself that recovery phase, if you are not allowing yourself that time for recovery, then it is not possible for you to come back to your and achieve again your peak phase of that flow state. So this acceptance that flow, we cannot be continuously in flow because that is a very, very exhaustive state. So if you are going to be in that state forever, that is impossible, and any person will die by that. Okay, because that's a very, very exhausting otherwise for the body and for the brain. Okay, so this happens in the cycle. Now, after that, I actually talk about good sleep hygiene. Why? Because in that recovery phase, okay, many of you, and during this pandemic, a very basic factor to our well-being, which has become very, very neglected, and our schedule has become what can I say? It is distracted completely. Okay, so that is actually our good sleep hygiene. So what is good sleep hygiene? In good sleep hygiene, if you are taking a very heavy dinner at 9 and if you are trying to sleep by 9:30, it is impossible. You will not be able to do that. Okay, get some exercise in the morning, preferably, or maybe walk some low level exercises like brisk walking or something in the evening. So you will be having good sleep. Maximize daytime light, not the blue light. Okay, not the artificial lighting. Minimize nighttime light. Limit your caffeine intake at least after 6 p.m. of night. And limit your alcohol intake. These are all known things. Limit your nicotine. Right temperature. Okay, if the temperature is very, very hot, then it is impossible, and if it is very low also, then also it is very difficult for us to really go to sleep, but that we do not face here. Limit noise. Okay, so many times it happens in triple sharing room, double sharing room, that I want to sleep but my roommate is not using earphone or headphone, and he or she is watching movie with full sound. So how is it possible for me to sleep? Then you actually have options of this white noise. You can put some light music and put some headphone in your ear, but you keep your sleep schedule proper. Okay, there is no point in really complaining about your roommate, but you have to invent, you have to become much more creative to maintain your well-being. Now, ensure comfort. If it is possible, make your bed before you go to sleep. Okay, make your bed sheet clean. At least make your bed. Making bed means whatever you understand, that at least you do to your bed, then you will feel that urge to sleep. And very strictly, please be make sure that you are maintaining a schedule. That means if you are going to bed at 12 at night and waking up at 8, 7 to 8 hours sleep is mandatory for your well-being. Forget about this flow, forget about many high functioning things. If your basic thing, which is sleep, is disturbed, you are actually compromising, you are actually playing with your immunity system. You are actually escalating and what can I say, speeding up your aging system. Okay, you will age much more faster. So these are all longitudinal effect of sleep deprivation or not having a good sleep hygiene. So sleep is very basic, and if you really want to achieve flow state, then in that recovery period you have to take care of your sleep. Otherwise it is impossible to understand what is flow state and what is peak performance and many other hi-fi things for peak performance. Now, flow state is known as the good addiction cycle. Okay, again, I'm talking about this addiction, but this is not very, the term is not very preferred by the academicians. But then also I'm talking about it because you need to understand that how actually by nature, how much empowered we all are. Okay, so flow is giving us what? Effortlessness, feeling of control, the control which we are feeling that it is not there in our hand. But flow is a state where we are that sense of control is very much exaggerating within us, and that is actually good for our sanity, good for our well-being. Experience of timelessness, natural silencing of inner critic self, that means brooding, I am worrying endlessly, those things are switched off. Action merging, action and this action merging means you are the work at that time. Your self has gone somewhere else. So that self and action was merged. Okay, that sense of self is one gone. We are actually free from many fear. And autotelic quality. Autotelic means that the particular work is so much enjoyable that we are addicted to that particular work. So this autotelic quality is when we derive pleasure from the process. If you are doing the exercise, then not with the result of exercise you are becoming motivated. You are enjoying that process of doing exercise and how you are feeling during the exercise. That is why you are going back to next day to that particular same activity because you are enjoying that. So this flow state is actually, once you will be able to understand, you will be informed, and you will be able to see all of us once or many times we have actually gone through this state already, but we do not know that we have already felt it. Okay, but if you know it scientifically, and if you know how to identify that what is your flow state, what are your flow triggers, what works for you, what cues works for you, then I think you will be able to create that kind of mastery, self mastery over yourself, where you do not require any other outside chemical to boost or to kick your that high level of performance. Some cautionary statements we always do these things. We always do some of the things which is flow breakers. Okay, if you really want to be in your peak performance state, please do not open multiple tabs in your laptop or in your PC when you are trying to write an email, or when you are trying to write a code, when you are doing some simulation. Okay, please silence all your notification in your mobile phone. You can get back to them once you are done with writing that important official email or writing that code. Okay, and you are sending that out wherever you have to send that out. So if you really want your attention to be concentrated, then you have to be aware. You have to learn what are the flow breakers. Those flow breakers you need to one by one take away from your practices, day-to-day practices. Now I'm going to give you a practice. This is one imagery practice. We are almost in the end of the session. And this is one imagery practice. I will request you all to just try to close your eyes and just concentrate on whatever is said here. This is a track. This is an imagery exercise. And this, you can say, this is actually a, what can I say? If you want to enter the flow state, this kind of cue can actually help you. So please try to go through this, try to imagine whatever is the instruction given here.
Please close your
Now it is
eyes.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, just be aware of the sounds you are hearing now. Now try to only follow the voice you can hear now and allow yourself to follow the instruction. Now try to observe your breath, the pace which is prevailing now. Observe if your breaths as you inhale and exhale. Now take a deep breath, a long inhale, and exhale very slowly. Take a few slow and relaxed breaths. As you exhale, imagine all the tension leaving your body. While focusing on your breath, let other thoughts flow away, arising and disappearing. Observe them. Just do not get caught up in them. Now focus on remembering one occurrence so far in your life where you have experienced most joy, completely immersed and filled with meaning. A moment in your life when you felt anything is possible and everything was going your way. Now blend this feeling with a warm, bright and calming light in front of you. Watch it for some time as it glows, grows and expands. Now feel this bright, warm light approaching and feeling your whole body from head to toe, giving a warm feeling of confidence and deep presence within. Your body is now full of white, bright, warm light. By that, you are feeling energized, present, and calm. Be in this calm feeling for some more time. Now your awareness is focused and ready to enter a flow state. Please.
So here we are in the end of the session, and the takeaway message which I want to say is flow is a learned skill. Our brain is wired to achieve flow. If we decide to ensure flow conditions and apply the flow triggers, we can face the present challenging time with a mindset of as if we humans are facing an evolutionary growth spurt, which will be conquered through learning how to maximize our intrinsic ability to become happy in the process, not by reaching any destination, but our own maximum performance state in an informed manner. Thank you so much for patience listening.